Hello, my dear students. How are you? Hope you are fine. Today, I want to discuss with you the summary of the best Christmas present in the world. I have broke the summary in two parts. Today, we will study the first part. In a nutshell, the first part of the best Christmas present in the world. The summary. The author found a roll top desk in a junk shop. It was in a bad condition but cheap. He thought that he would restore it. So he brought it. He began to work on it on Christmas Eve. Okay. He pulled out the drawers. He found that these had been badly damaged by fire and water. The man who sold it had told him that it was very old. It was of 19th century and made of oak. The last drawer had stuck fast. He had to use much force to open it. He means here the author. When it opened, it revealed a secret space. In it, he found a small tin box. On the top of the box, these words are written, quote unquote, Jim's last letter received January 25, 1915, to be buried with me when the time comes. Inside, there was an envelope with the address, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Bridges, Bridgeport. The date was December 26, 1914. Next you see, the author read the letter. The author read the letter. The owner of the desk must have put it in. The letter had been written by a captain of the English army. His name was Jim Macpherson. He had written to his wife Connie. A wonderful incident had happened on the battlefield on the Christmas day. Jim Macpherson had narrated it in his letter. The English and the Germans were at war. The two armies stood in their respective stanges on the two sides of the no man's land. Suddenly, Macpherson saw someone waving a white flag from the enemy side. Then he saw some German soldiers calling out to them. They were wishing a happy Christmas to the English soldiers. Some English soldiers shouted back, "Same to you." The English thought that was all. They saw many Germans moving towards them. The captain was alarmed. It could be a tick, but it was not. They were bringing with them German wine and canned meat. Now there were no rifles between the soldiers. They were hugging one another. The German officers moved towards Macpherson. They shook hands very warmly. Then the German officer said that he was from Dusseldorf and that he played cello in the orchestra. He gave his name as Hans Wolf. In return, Macpherson also introduced himself. He said that he was a school teacher from Dorset. Hans Wolf smiled. He said he knew Dorset. In fact, he had never been to England, but he knew English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book was Far from the Madding Crowd. It was from there he had learned all about the Dorset. Macpherson shared with Hans Wolf the Christmas cake his wife had sent for him. Hans Wolf said that the Marchifman was the best he had ever tasted. It was a wonderful Christmas party. It is the first part of the summary of the best Christmas present in the world. And the second part in the next class I will discuss with you. Okay? Take care. Bye.